What's up, guys? Nate Petrosky from Narrowway Homestead. I'm all bundled up, getting ready to be outside for a little bit. Gonna take the side-by-side and go over to the other homestead where the neighbors of that homestead, where Will and Jesse are, had a barn collapse. We've had an abnormally large amount of snowfall on the roofs here in West Virginia, and it doesn't look that bad, but we had snow and then it melted, and then we had a rainstorm which just added to the weight by building more ice in the existing snow, and then another snowstorm, and I don't really know all the details yet, so I'm gonna go over there and bring you guys along. We have a high of like 13 degrees today or so, and Minion, he's gonna come too. He's just all dressed up. Down the road we go. Hey Minion, you got snow on you a little bit. Jen's got you warm. Now we're no longer on a road. Well, I mean, I guess we kind of are, but hopefully we don't get stuck because I don't have a winch. Jesse, when he was watching our place, got stuck somewhere around here. I'll just have to not get stuck. Into the creek. Out of the creek. We're getting there. First the road and the creek have to join and all be one. Come on, Mins. We going places doing things? Minion, you going across the bridge? That's pretty crazy. There it is, guys. There's the barn. Minion, you stay out of there. Minion, stay out of there. Come. Come. I know. You don't know all about structural integrity.
But thankfully something
Stopped it, yeah.
It didn't totally go down.
Yeah, that was a blessing.
Yep.
Wow.
Then Tom had to tear down the pallets that we had there just to be able to get into her because that was our gate.
Minion. Man, that's a place I can't follow. I don't fit through here.
It's not
And all the things good back there?
crazy, huh? Oh, yeah.
Some spots good, some spots not so much. Minion is happy to report that all the animals that were in this barn survived.
I hear you, Susie.
That's a cat.
She's always good to go.
Can't figure out where they went.
No, she runs up too.
Can't figure out why her building looks so crazy now.
It's skittish here.
Sure.
Fell.
I scared the hell out of it. I can't imagine the noises this made.
Did you guys actually hear it go down, or?
No.
Okay.
He said he didn't know till he came out to put the animals away.
It's okay, it's just Minion.
There she is.
Oh, what a pretty.
Susie, Susie. Good girl. Good girl.
I know.
What happened, Mama?
Is it a kitty? Be careful, Minion. Kitties will smack you in the face.
Right?
Minion. Minion. That cat doesn't know you. It's a little bit crazy in here. There's not much of it in here, but there is a spot. It's still good. I'm freaking out because I'm here. Barely have enough room to move my arm around, but
I do the same
And-
thing. Nate's like, what do you mean you made a soup that's 6 servings? There's 2 of us. I'm like, but there's always tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
I don't have to stand over the stove.
you say hi, Min.
Good girl, Molly. Good girl, Molly.
Come here.
She's like, whatever, don't bother me, I'm sleeping.
Good girl, Molly. Yeah, she's like 13, 14.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, Tommy's known her since she was a puppy.
She's sweet. Look at her. I can't believe how tiny she is. Nate getting him to switch, like you can almost just see the gears turn, and all of a sudden he's just a different. I can't get him to do that for me. With me, he's like, nope, Nate's not around. You don't care so much. Man.
It's funny because it's like that with the goats with Tommy and I. The boy goats listen to me.
As you guys know, we got a whole bunch of snow here in the West Virginia mountains, and this barn just ended up collapsing because the roof couldn't take the snow load. This isn't like a lot of my buildings where they're all within 5 years of being built, but as structures get old, particularly in an area that doesn't see this kind of snowfall regularly, especially when it rains after the snow falls and then all the weight from the rain just stays on the roof, sometimes it doesn't look that bad, but obviously it can be pretty bad. These folks homestead just like me. They're the nicest folks you could ever hope to meet out here, and a whole bunch of people in West Virginia were very welcoming and open to me coming out here and homesteading, just very helpful in all kinds of little ways, and I want to return the favor. There is a GoFundMe set up down below in the description of the video. That was set up by Will Survives because these folks have been just really helpful to him. They're not very close to me. It takes about 15 minutes on an ATV or a little longer to get here, at least with this weather, but they're forever bringing Will all kinds of cool different foods and stuff, and his cameraman. They're even giving him a place to stay after Will's van got totaled. I'm really not much for doing a whole lot of stuff with GoFundMes and charities, and I feel like a lot of the times the funds just don't get allocated to people that actually need them, and you don't really know who the people are sometimes, and you just kind of wonder, well, I know these people, and I know what they do, and I know what they've been doing without asking for a single thing from anyone else. They're exactly the type of people that I think could use a hand up whenever they've been giving people hands up the entire time I've known them. The most awesome thing about all of this is the fact that none of their animals were killed in the collapse, because it's pretty much a total collapse. This used to be a much different structure, and the entire center of it is basically just laying on the ground now. They've got goats, a couple of newborn goats that are just a couple weeks old, a whole bunch of different types of birds, cats, dogs, and all that good stuff, and they're finding different places to keep them. A couple of birds are staying in part of the barn that stayed up, and they have some other buildings and structures to temporarily house them, but they've got a whole bunch of cleanup and salvage to do of this barn once the weather breaks and it becomes workable out here. Tom and Kelly are just awesome, friendly people, and I know if I had some kind of tragedy happen in my life or one of my buildings collapsed and my animals were without a permanent place to stay, you guys would be overwhelming in your help with me. Well, they don't have social media, so I'm on social media on their behalf at this moment, basically saying, hey guys, these are good people, this is what happened to them, and if you feel led to help them out, that would be really amazing. I always mean to get over here more often and actually hang out with them. I've been around a couple times and had coffee in this little corner of the woods. I mean, it's just kind of like a little neighborhood over here, and they get together and have coffee, and we spent a couple hours here after checking it all out, just hanging out with them and catching up, things we probably should have done a long time ago, but you know how life gets busy and it just somehow never seems to happen. And they love Minion. Minion was all over the place here, just checking it all out. He had to know everything about what was going on and what all the different animals were. Had a good time with him, and I'll have to make it a point when, you know, something crazy isn't happening, like when barns aren't collapsing, just to stop by and say hi and hang out just a little bit more. They've definitely come over to There's a Way homestead and checked it all out a bunch of times and hung out there, so they're just good folks. That's really it. Their barn collapsed. Their animals are in temporary housing. They're all okay for now. I did offer to let them stay in the house that I'm currently renovating, which is mostly demolished. It just has walls and a roof, but it's somewhat far away from where they're at, so it'd be very inconvenient to monitor and check up on animals that were over there. But obviously it's not a house now, and I'm not using it for anything, so if they feel the need to temporarily house any animals there, they're more than welcome to do so. When they build their new barn, I think they want to put it over in a different spot, maybe do a couple smaller buildings rather than such a large barn, because this thing was huge and it was really tall. It was basically 2 stories tall. It didn't have a second story with a bunch of stuff on it. There was no second story in it at all. It was just a very tall building. Hopefully when the weather breaks, they get it all cleaned up. We can see them having something that is more suitable for the types of animals they have, and not just a big giant barn that is aging. It really doesn't look too crazy. It doesn't look like there's that much snow on the roof, but we got a 6-inch snowstorm, an ice storm, and then another 6 inches. It all kind of melted and compacted so it doesn't look crazy. Then it rained. All those raindrops stayed on that snow. So my roofs currently have a whole ton of weight on them. Really, if we're expected to get a whole lot more stuff before I see this melt off, I will probably be shoveling some of my own roofs off. We don't normally get this much snow here. I figured somewhere between 12 to 18 inches of snow load for all of my roofs and all of my buildings. And I think that's the amount of weight I have right now. And if we get beyond that, I myself am going to be really concerned about my buildings, and I'm going to have to get up on them and clear them off a little bit. But fortunately, all of my roofs are really easy to access, except for the one on the new garage. But this thing is built for much more significant snowfall than we got. This thing's basically built, yeah, I bet it would have 3 feet of snow on there and it'd just be falling off the roof before I'd ever have to worry about it. Anyway, that's it, guys. Just wanted to let you guys know about all that. And thanks to Will Survives for setting up a GoFundMe. I think it was an awesome idea. Those folks are just really awesome to them, and me just seeing how great they are to Will and Jesse over there just makes me view them in an even better light than I did before. I think they're great people and they're really awesome and don't ask for anything, and just gonna voluntarily, just like Will did, say, hey guys, this happened. If you feel led to help them out, it would be appreciated. Thanks for watching.
With the beard and the vision, he narrates his life. Cutting firewood, draining beasts away from city strife. The ducks they roam freely, a quiet army true. Muscovies in the meadow, foraging in the dew. Lord Minion, small but grand, he's the kingdom's pride. Chasing up the odds with nothing at my side. But when it's time to collect, it's not this thing is looking for.